The sentiment among healthcare executives is shifting from reactive uncertainty to proactive, data-driven planning. This mirrors broader national trends identified in the J.P. Morgan 2026 Business Leaders Outlook Report, which reveals that while national economic optimism remains measured at 39%, a significant 71% of business leaders remain optimistic about their own organization's performance. For healthcare payers, this confidence gap underscores the critical reality of how success in a volatile economy depends on mastering the internal levers of provider network efficiency. Before we continue, allow me to quickly introduce myself. I'm Jeff, TOG Network Solutions AI spokesperson. I help share TOG's insights on current industry news and trends. You can always learn more by visiting TOG's website at tognetworksolutions.com. Let's move on to explore more strategic insights from the J.P. Morgan Business Leaders Outlook Report and how these findings will impact the payer landscape. Let's begin by exploring the impact of micro-efficiencies. The J.P. Morgan report identifies uncertain economic conditions as the top challenge for 49% of leaders. In the healthcare sector, this uncertainty is amplified by rising medical trends and shifting regulatory landscapes. However, the report also notes that 73% of leaders expect revenue growth and 64% project higher profits in the coming year. For insurance executives, achieving these profit targets requires a transition away from broad-based cost-cutting toward the network intelligence methodology. Just as business leaders across industries are prioritizing their most profitable products and strategic partnerships, healthcare plans must prioritize their most efficient provider arrangements. When the macroeconomy is unpredictable, the ability to pinpoint exactly where the P&L is being impacted by unit cost leakage becomes the primary driver of predictable profitability. One of the most striking findings in the J.P. Morgan report is the rapid integration of artificial intelligence into business planning. According to the study, 62% of mid-sized businesses use AI for process automation, while 44% leverage predictive analytics. This trend directly aligns with the evolution of provider network management. The days of retrospective adequacy reporting are being replaced by real-time network intelligence that uses predictive modeling to simulate the impact of contract changes before they are signed. By adopting these advanced analytics, healthcare payers can move beyond checking the box for compliance and start using data to forecast and stabilize their medical loss ratio. Labor concerns and the impact of tariffs remain tied as the third most pressing challenge in the J.P. Morgan report, with 31% of leaders citing each as a top obstacle. Healthcare payers may not feel the impact of tariffs in the same way as manufacturers. The general inflationary pressure on the cost of doing business contributes to rising provider demands during negotiations. When providers come to the table citing their own increased labor and supply costs, payers must have an objective defense. Standardizing unit cost analysis against Medicare benchmarks provides the transparent data-backed leverage needed to ensure that reimbursement rates remain fair and sustainable even in a high-cost environment. To capitalize on the momentum described in the 2026 Outlook, TOG Network Solutions suggests that healthcare executives focus on three core strategic pillars. 1. Begin by unifying fragmented data for real-time visibility. Just as top business leaders are moving away from siloed reporting, payers must integrate claims, contracts, and transparency data into a single view. This allows you to identify financial drain at the provider group level before it impacts the quarterly P&L. 2. Prioritize high-value partnerships. The J.P. Morgan report shows a rise in strategic partnerships as a growth lever. In your network, this means identifying and rewarding the providers who deliver superior outcomes at competitive rates. Steerage toward these high-value partners is the most effective way to manage medical spend in an uncertain economy. And 3, use technology to perform continuous audits of your highest volume contracts. Identifying billing errors or underutilized contract levers should not be a manual once-a-year task. It should be an automated part of your revenue integrity strategy. The 2026 J.P. Morgan Business Leaders Outlook report proves that while the broader economy may be complex, leaders who focus on what they can control, including their data and strategy, are well-positioned for growth. By applying these lessons to the provider network, healthcare plans can ensure a year of predictable success.